So this used to be Goryodang. This is another one of my grandma's favorite cafes. And down there you have 구화식품, which is where we did our grocery shopping. And it's still here after all these years. Back in the day, my grandma would take me to these 고스톱 games that were hosted at different 할머니's houses. So I would just grab my Kumon homework and just be doing that on the side as she played these 고스톱 games with her friends.
I was raised by my aunt and my grandmother. My aunt was the breadwinner of her family. My grandmother would make some extra income by babysitting other people's kids in the neighborhood. While my aunt was at work, I would wait with her to collect food stamps. She and I were an inseparable duo. There's a perception that Korean Americans are doing well and are financially successful, the model minority myth. But there are families like mine that work hard but still struggle. 2 years ago, I was selected to be a KACF fellow. It was an intensive training program that taught me how to be a nonprofit professional.
We found these 3 particular areas to be very helpful in conducting really engaging and effective online meetings. So we'll be sharing tips focused around these 3 areas today.
I think the whole goal and dream of our parents and grandparents is for us to get educated and get out of the community and move on to better things and places. So I never thought I'd find myself back here in the community that I grew up in. Now I think through the KACF program, I came to the realization that there was something for me to do here so that it becomes a better place for everyone to live in.
KACF is the only foundation that really prioritizes our community. The foundation has a very long history and trust with a nonprofit serving our community.
안녕하세요. KCS 뉴욕 한인봉사센터 커뮤니케이션 담당하는 모니카라고 합니다.
Today, I work as the communications officer at Korean Community Services, one of KACF's grantee partners. I see it as important work because our community needs to be seen and heard.
This is actually that McDonald's that my grandma and other Korean seniors used to congregate at.
Several years ago, there was a controversy in Queens where a McDonald's called the police on Korean seniors who'd meet there and linger after ordering just a cup of coffee. Then the story got picked up by Korean media and even the New York Times, and I saw the power of our stories getting told. They got the McDonald's to apologize, which was a small victory. So that's when I realized the power of telling your story and making sure that the world knows what's going on. The experience also made me want to do more to help seniors like my grandmother have a voice. Now, my job is to tell these stories. Even though I'm a communications officer and spend most of my time on the phone and computer, being at KCS gives me a chance to be hands-on.
어르신 음식은 입맛에 맞으세요?
주신 거 감사하다고 그죠?
It gives me joy to serve people like my grandma.
아니 가야지.
She actually passed away during the peak of the pandemic. She was in a nursing home, so because they went on lockdown, we weren't able to visit her as she was passing. I just felt like I wasn't there for her towards the end of her years.
Coming back to work in my community, I'm gaining a lot more context for some of the things that we struggled with and experienced, and I feel like there's something that I can do to affect some sort of change. I've also learned from my time with KACF that my own voice is important and that my story matters. I've been empowered to share my story and the story of my grandmother. After all, I am her legacy. 할머니, this is your voice. You are not invisible anymore.